From raga to rock and genres beyond. The music stories with Suchitra. The beats, the melodies.
Hello, all my lovelies, and welcome to the Music Stories with me, Suchitra Krishnamoorthi. You know, music has always been an integral part of my journey, my core, my very being. Music to me has never been a career, but a way of life, a bhakti, a sadhana, an ever-flowing knowledge stream that I've been blessed to be able to dip my fingertips into. Music has taught me not just the sa re ga ma pa and the do re mi fa sol la ti, but most importantly, it taught me empathy. It taught me love. It taught me discipline, which is the highest form of self-love, and it taught me humility. There has been no greater teacher in my life than music. What is music? Music is the language of love. Music is the language of emotion, isn't it? Music is also human beings' earliest Wi-Fi connection to the divine. Don't you agree? I mean, how else can you explain the first melody? How did it ever get created? Where did it come from? Even before instruments were made and chords structured and rules set, must have been some sort of a divine download, don't you think? But what exactly is music? Music too is a type of sound, isn't it? An energy frequency that passes through any medium such as air, water, or solid objects to produce vibrations that we can hear. Sound includes everything from traffic noises to carpenters drilling nails in your walls and in your brain. Music is a sound too. But what distinguishes music from random sounds? Music is a specific type of structured sound of controlled pitch and texture and timbre. Music is organized sound that vibrates at frequencies that are pleasing to the human ear. Music includes melody, rhythm, harmony, lay, tala, etc. in an organized structure, in an organized manner. To simplify it with a diagram, a random sound would appear like this, whereas a musical sound or a note would appear like this. So how did human beings all those thousands of years ago learn to distinguish a musical sound from a random sound? After all, natural sounds of rivers and ocean waves and crickets chirping in the wilderness have surrounded humans from the beginning of existence. So how was a musical sound discovered? Was it by someone trying to imitate the call of the cuckoo bird, perhaps? Wow. Or the rooster? How come one person could imitate the tone and timbre of the cuckoo bird and another not? In short, the difference between a surila and a besura, the tuneful and the tuneless, something only in God's power, methinks. So if the melody emerged from imitating the sound of the cuckoo bird, coo, did the chorus perhaps emerge from imitating the hum of the bees? You know, if you hear the hum of the bees long enough, you will start to hear Om. Om, yes, I kid you not. Try it and do leave a comment if you do hear the Om. The Om, which reverberates at a frequency of 432 Hertz, is the exact same frequency that reverberates entirely through nature. No coincidence this, huh? Bees also hum in the frequency of the middle C in Western notation. Can you imagine? A frequency that holds great healing power to us humans. The bumblebee, another kind of bee, which hums at a frequency of 270 Hertz, for example, is the note of C sharp, half a note higher than the C. Trivia, I know, I love trivia. I'm obsessed with trivia, I can't help it. So that was melody and chorus. So what about rhythm then? Did rhythm and rhythmic instruments emerge from men clicking sticks around the fireplace, you know, tuck, 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 or beating the ground to drive wild animals away, or even emulating their own heartbeat? Could be. And musical instruments such as the flute, the oldest recorded instrument in human history. Was it discovered by man blowing air into the fireplace or old wood stoves to cook that wild boar they bought in at the last hunt? A magical eureka moment occurred that produced such a beautiful music sound, so pleasing to the ear that man felt compelled to reproduce that sound over and over again, and so created the flute. It's a possibility. The connection of nature to music and divinity is so vast, it's hard to condense it in one segment. We will delve into much more of that later, in later episodes. In fact, the divine connect of music can be clearly seen by how important a role music plays in many religions, be it Hinduism, Christianity, Islam. Nothing creates a sense of community more than music. In fact, even early friendships in today's day and age are often formed over shared and most loved Spotify playlists of favorite songs and singers, and clubs and fan clubs are made and everything. Now, coming to songs, since we were talking about songs. While historians believe that the first documented song is the Hurrian hymn number 6, an ode to the goddess Nikal that was composed by the ancient Hurrians sometime around the 14th century BC, its notations carved into stone. This, according to me, is a very debatable point, because as we know that in Indian, or rather specifically Hindu tradition, which far, far precedes other ancient civilizations, there was no recorded or documented form of music or notation. Music was only ever passed on in the oral tradition, and earliest records of these are sometimes 300 or 500 years after they were written or composed. Indian music, in fact, has never had written notation, unlike Western music, which has passed down through centuries through its written notation format. It was as late as the 1920s when Indian classical music got its own written notation system to transcribe classical music, written by Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande. You know, it's thanks to him that we can now learn compositions of our greats like Tansen and Mirabai through textbooks rather than the traditional oral Gurukul form of learning music. Isn't that interesting? Now, for those thinking, ye notation kya hai? Notation is the musical note used in a composition. Every melody has a specific notation, or in Indian language, a sargam. For example, sa re ga ma pa 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 dha ma re is the actual notation. You could also put a lyric over it. For example, मैं न जानू ये सब notation क्या है, STFU सुचित्रा रे, बोर मत कर आगे बोलो साजना. You get the gist? हाँ बोलूंगी, बहुत बोलूंगी. From raga to rock, classical to pop, trivia, myth, facts, the glory, the stories, the secret behind hit tracks. From Elvis to R.D. Burman, Daljit Dosanjh to Dua Lipa, the unique genre of Indian playback singing and lip syncing, the gharanas, the khazanas, the music superstars and their bahanas, live performances, song composition, plagiarism, opportunism, digitization, monetization, AI in music, and so much more. As Shakespeare says, if music is the food of love, play on, and play on I will. So join me every week, same day, same time, on this exciting new journey, the music stories with me, yours musically, Suchitra Krishnamoorthi. Very not bad, yeah. You know, Sabah, because पहली धुन बनी कैसे? Okay, sorry, again, last time. It went too fast, I lost the whole Go back, come from a random song. Once it is played, you just need to go back a bit. Is that possible?